Did you know by leveling up your friendship with D-Horse, you can unlock a special command?
Go on.
Although this might seem like a useless trick, doing this on the road can cause smaller vehicles to spin out of control and remain stunned for a short period of time. Although you can do some other cool things with D-Horse, like leaning on one side, which has become iconically Venom's thing, and this pretty awesome commando role, the Defecate command is by far the most useful, solidifying D-Horse's position as the strongest buddy in the game. But there's other pieces of hidden details in the gameplay that reveal secret truths about the story and game's development. In Mission 22, a rival FOB takes control of Mother Base with all the enemies dressed in old MSF gear. Although Miller requests that you kill their leader called Mosquito, capturing him reveals that he's the same soldier seen fighting against XOF in the final cutscene of Ground Zero. Apparently, he heard a rumor that Big Boss orchestrated the attacks 9 years ago. So, Mosquito built a PF mimicking the original MSF down to the acronym to take revenge. The only problem is that Mosquito was also in the helicopter when it crashed and isn't mentioned as a survivor later in the hospital scene, which could mean this entire mission is all in Venom's imagination, just like the wandering Mother Base soldiers, since they wear the same battle damaged fatigues of that day instead of a clean version like the one seen in this picture. Or Mosquito did survive and the rumor he heard was actually talking about someone else, but more on that later. Interestingly, Venom and Mosquito have a hard time recognizing each other when you interrogate him. Plus, there was a rumor that using Mosquito in his Legacy FOB event will cause all the guards to become harmless. But as seen in Dead Spider's video, this isn't the case and only happens when you visit your own FOB as training. Kinda ironic how Miller says this about Mosquito.
But in the end, he was just a victim of disinformation.
If you grab a sniper rifle with strong penetration, you can actually shoot helicopter pilots through the cockpit. To my knowledge, shooting the glass from the front is easier to break than the side, but sometimes neither frame shatters for some reason, and you can down either of the two pilots. This is such an underused feature, especially since 3 shots from the Brennan sniper rifle destroys the helicopters anyway. But still, nothing feels better than getting a clean shot. You can also throw grenades and have Quiet ricochet them at the helicopter, but for how difficult it is to perform, it isn't really worth it either. And although the game includes attack helis and fighter jets, you can't actually fly them, unlike in the sponsor of today's video, War Thunder. War Thunder is a free-to-play military vehicle game with a wide variety of land, air, and even naval artillery to choose from, spanning across different eras of history. Not only does each vehicle feel different, but you can upgrade them with special modules and change their cosmetic appearances to suit your liking. Each vehicle has different advanced artillery ranging from guided missiles to a nuke that can destroy the battlefield. War Thunder also doesn't use a universal health bar, rather each shot does specific damage to that area of the vehicle for a more realistic experience. War Thunder is constantly expanding the number of vehicles in its roster, and thanks to the recent Dance of the Dragons update, players can now unlock 2 new Chinese fighter jets as well as 2 new iconic American fighter planes, a whole line of French naval ships, and so much more. By downloading War Thunder for free using the link in the description or pinned comment, all new players and those who haven't played for half a year or more will get special bonuses like 3 premium vehicles for free as well as a premium account and the M4 tank for a whole week, plus so much more. But hurry, because the American vehicle bonus season ends soon. In this interrogation scene, Huey claims this about cars.
Miller was in contact with Cypher 9 years ago. He was working with them. He's the traitor, Snake!
Which has led to some theories online claiming Huey's innocence and Cars being the real traitor, as suggested by Mosquito's story earlier. Since Cars lies on a few occasions, like,
I've been hunting him for 9 long years.
Even though the XOF soldier says,
Analyze transmission. He's been in contact with Big Boss.
Meaning the moment Huey heard of Big Boss's revival, he directly contacted Diamond Dogs and wanted to return as opposed to his suggested hiding. But upon arrival, he unexpectedly gets thrown into hours of torture and interrogation. When trying to find claims against Huey about 9 years ago, Kaz admits,
Do you think he had a hand in it?
I do. But
There's no proof yet.
Then Ocelot says this about Strangelove.
Why did Strangelove leave the base on the eve of the inspection? You two were close.
Strangelove?
But this isn't true either.
Dr. Strangelove's departure came at a perfect time. Wait, she left? She left last week. Zeke is complete. There was really no reason for her to hang around.
In fact, the last person to contact Big Boss before the inspection is Huey from the control tower. But Kaz goes completely silent and is later found on the adjacent platform, but coincidentally no one asks what he was doing when the inspection team arrived. And as highlighted in Tasty Rainbow's analysis videos, with the small Strike Force XOF sent to Mother Base, it would have taken longer for them to set the C4 and blow all the struts up, which might mean it was also an inside job. Especially since Miller's strut is coincidentally the last to be taken down. Plus, Miller's quick to blame Huey for things they already know the answers to, like the so-called repairing of Sahelanthropus with Eli and the kids.
Conspiring with Eli, he repaired Sahelanthropus in secret.
It could never be piloted without Psychomantis's control, which they clearly see happen again when Eli steals it. They blamed Huey for the mutation of the Walbachia through the X-ray monitoring scans, even though Code Talker said this.
The reproductive cells are more sensitive to radiation, but I have not tested it. There is no telling what mutation could result if this is done post-infection.
And they pressed him for the location of Sahelanthropus in OKB-0 for no reason, since it wasn't there, even though they saw it at the warehouse earlier in the game. Though the only evidence against this theory is when Skullface says this.
Traitor! I hope your friends give you what's coming to you.
And of course Strangelove's body found in the AI pod, but even then you can't trust the recording of a broken AI.
Kill me. Kill me.
Plus, when Miller says this,
Emmerich, we record all communications on Mother Base. You've been in frequent contact with people in America, and they are connected to Cypher.
I'm the one who got caught up with Cypher.
they never show us any evidence and the cassette tape cuts off before Huey gets a chance to reply to the accusations. In Mission 29, your helicopter flies into a ball of mist, then crashes from being quickly turned into rust. This is just one of many effects of the fictional metallic Archaea and the parasite research of Code Talker. Metallic Archaea is a modified single-cell organism that feeds off metals to enhance their properties in different ways. The skulls do this with minerals from the ground to create those strange spike things, which is also the same for Sahelanthropus' sword, as well as this black armor that the skulls use. It's also how the skulls can create metal weapons on the spot without having to carry anything. And the gas mentioned earlier includes corrosive metallic Archaea that speeds up metal's oxidization into rust, which is why Ocelot threatened Huey with it, since his metal legs are directly attached to his bones via metal bolts. And thanks to the mist, this even happens to vehicles in the boss fight of Sahelanthropus. But unlike regular metals, Sahelanthropus' armor uses depleted uranium enriched with metallic Archaea. Although depleted uranium is actually used as armor for tanks, if commanded, the metallic Archaea can melt down Sahelanthropus' armor and extract uranium-235, the fuel used for nuclear reactions, and enriches the gas to 90%, causing a nuclear explosion. So basically, Sahelanthropus is a walking nuke thanks to its own armor and metallic Archaea. You might have noticed that the skins of the skulls keep phasing between muscles and flesh. That's thanks to the parasite known as the one that covers, which acts like the skin for the host, allowing the user to turn nearly invisible, and amplifies their normal abilities to supernatural levels. In some cases, like Quiet, the parasites can replace vital organs and allow the host to live longer thanks to photosynthesis. The End from Snake Eater, Code Talker, and Quiet all share the same parasite treatment as seen by the black markings on their heads. Skullface also went through the same therapy after being burned, but for whatever reason his skulls don't seem to be alive. In fact, you can't actually ever kill them. Even if you stab them with their own swords or deal extreme amounts of damage, they'll always get up and jump away. Although it's not clear how the parasites and metallic Archaea are used to turn normal soldiers into zombies with a hive mind, what's cool about this feature is that on missions like 28, if you sneak past the sniper skull unit, the soldiers around the villa will still be zombies, making it really easy to escape with Code Talker. But the snipers do reappear near the villa, so watch out. You can unlock Ocelot's unique tornado pistols, which have the special ability of ricocheting bullets if you fire it at the right angle. This can happen on most surfaces and is by far one of the coolest features of any gun. And if you play as Ocelot in FOB missions with this pistol equipped, he'll dual wield them and will divide the ammo. To my knowledge, this is the only time in the game you can dual wield weapons. It's a shame we don't get to use Ocelot with this ability in the campaign missions of the game, especially since he has some really cool reloading animations in both third and first person. In fact, there are so much more hidden details about Ocelot and other unique playable characters and skins across the games. Find out more in this video here.